Testing, testing. Okay, fine. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay, it seems like everything is working fine. Audio is working, the screen is working. Just checking. Audio is working, the screen is working. It's working. Just checking. Just checking. Okay, cool. I think everything's working fine, except I just need to fix the audio a little bit. Just give me a moment. I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Sorry, I do want to make sure all the back-end technical stuff is okay before I actually start. So give me a moment, okay? Okay, seems like everything's working. I'm just going to start. If any time, any point of time, sorry, I'm listening to see. If any point of time you guys have any technical problems like the audio, the screen is not working, just let me know. Okay, once again, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets. We are going to do a live analysis session. What that means is that I'm going to go onto the live charts and I'm going to do my analysis. I'm going to show you how I do my analysis, but it does not mean that this is any kind of like signal to buy or sell. I am purely just showing you my style of doing analysis, and the reason why I'm showing you that is so that you have a different perspective of what another trader, of how another trader would do their analysis or go into the charts. Okay, for those who are here, could you just normally say hi so that I know that the chat box is working as well? I just want to make sure everything is working. Okay, it seems like everything's working. Okay, so today's the 17th of November. It is, yeah, we are scheduled to start right now. Good morning. There is a lot of echo in your audio. Um, okay, let me try to fix that. Hold on. I'm gonna try to listen. Hello? Hello? Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Give me a moment, guys. Give me a minute. Let me try to fix this. Testing, testing. Okay, I really have no idea why it's doing that. I hear it. Thanks for highlighting, a green Naldi. I have no idea how to fix this. Anyone has any ideas? Echo. Echo. Hello? Hello? Is it better now, guys? Is it better now, guys? Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. I have no idea why it's doing that, guys. I have no idea how to fix it either. It's like you have a speaker in the surrounding. Give me a moment. Let me try to figure out what's happening. Okay, maybe if I try removing the dual screen, it might work. Oops. Oops. Okay. Hello? Okay. Hello? 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 Okay, I'm gonna try one last time. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna try one last time. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna try one last time. Hello? Oh my gosh, it's still happening. Okay, I'm gonna try one last time. Hello? Oh my gosh, it's still happening. Okay, guys, I don't know what is going on. Oh my gosh, it's still happening. Okay, guys, I don't know what is going on. Um, but I'm just gonna continue with today's session because if I stop the session, I'm just gonna continue with today's session because if I stop the session, I'm just gonna continue with today's session because if I stop the session, I'm just gonna continue with today's session because if I stop the session, I'm just gonna continue with today's session because if I Okay, sorry guys, I know there's audio in the background, but I'm gonna have to continue the session because I already started it. If I stop halfway, I won't be able to continue later. So just ignore the echo in the background. I don't know why it's doing that, honestly. So just ignore the echo in the background. I don't know why it's doing that, honestly. So just ignore the echo in the background. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, I think the audio is fixed. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Thanks for those who continued waiting. I managed to fix the audio. I think there was an echo in the background. Um, I don't know why that was happening, but yeah, if you guys notice any more problems, let me know in the chat box. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. Thank you, E Greenaldi. Thank you, Do1 UFCC 2996. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Okay, so I've got a call from my colleague saying wondering why I started at 2:30. I think it was scheduled wrongly. We usually start at 5:30. It's just that I so happened to be on here today and I saw that it was scheduled for 2:30, so I decided to start. Anyways, for those who are gonna join later on, um, just replay the session. I chose to start at 2:30 because I did see people already waiting. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to today's session brought to you by IC Market. So sorry about the first 5 minutes. I was trying to figure out why the mic was having echoes. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so disclaimer. Um, So today's webinar is going to be a live analysis session. That means that I am going to go to the live charts to do analysis, and I'm going to show you guys how I usually do my analysis. But please take note that it is not a signal to buy or sell. It is purely for educational purposes. Okay, it is not any form of financial advice, not any form of investment advice. It is purely for educational purposes. I will stay here for a minute or two so that you guys can read through the disclaimer, but the disclaimer is basically just a reminder for you guys to not copy anything that I say and to take this purely as educational. On top of that, a risk warning. Trading forex and CFDs, especially if you are trading on multiple leverage, on very high leverage, does carry significant risk and it's not suitable for all investors. You could have multiple programs running. I don't know. I actually turned off the desktop audio and it stopped echoing. It's very weird because other times when I'm doing this webinar, I've never had to turn it off. But I don't know why today it was just echoing so badly. But yeah, I'm glad it's fixed. Now I was panicking because I don't know what I was doing. Right, so yeah, thanks for letting me know, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Cassandra. You guys can call me Cass. For those who don't already know me, I am an investment analyst at Everest Fortune Group. For Everest Fortune Group is a research firm based in Singapore. We specialize a lot in like backtesting, forecasting, a lot of analyzation of where we think the markets are going. Okay, and we basically study the markets thoroughly. We study it on a daily basis. If you're a doctor and your 9 to 5 job is to go and treat patients, my 9 to 5 job is literally to study and understand the market. So we are very versed in the markets. So on top of that, um, because of how much time we spend on the markets, we have been recognized as the finalists for the best forex and the best equity research for multiple years running. Okay, so we have been recognized globally and in the industry for the work that we do. On top of that, I am a prop trader. For those who don't know what prop trading means, it means that I am a funded trader. I'm funded by multiple companies. How did I get these fundings? I had to pass a few tests. One of the tests required me to do 10%. Not one of the tests, all of the tests required me to do 10% profit within a month. So 1 month we have 30 days, but it's only 22 trading days because Saturdays and Sundays are not counted. So I've been funded many times because I've passed this test and I've done 10% profit many times. Actually, I've ended last month in 8%, and this month I am currently on 2% profit as of today. Okay, it's a bit slow, but yeah, still on track. Still on track to end the month at about 8%. Okay, so how do I do that? I do that by using technical analysis and a lot of combination of fundamental analysis as well. right? Yeah. So if you guys have any questions regarding technical analysis or anything to do with trading at all, please ask me in the chat box. I will try my best to answer you if I have the answer. If I don't have the answer, I'll let you know, because there is no one person that will understand the market entirely. There's too many things to understand, but I will just help you if I have the answers. Okay, so our agenda for today is key approaches, cheat sheet checklist, and our live charts. Then we're going to go into live charts where we're going to basically do the analysis. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet checklist. If you guys are here for the first time on my webinar, right, you know that you should take a photo, because this is what I usually use for my own analysis. Maybe it might help you in your analysis, maybe it may not, because trading is such a personal journey. It may or may not help you, but whatever it is, if you take a photo and you try to implement it into your trading, it might work out for you. Okay, so this is the main first part of my analysis. This is the very important part of my analysis. The first thing I need to do as a trader is to find out where trend is moving, because I am a trend trader. Trend trader meaning I need to know, it's very important that I know if price is going up or going down. Okay, if price is going up, I'm going to enter for a buy. If price is going down, I'm going to enter for a sell. Okay, so how do I do that? I use trend lines or channels to identify the uptrend or the downtrend. When I say trend lines, I need at least 3 significant touches, 3 significant swing highs, or 3 significant swing lows for it to be valid. If I'm using a channel, it needs to have 4 touches, 2 on the top and 2 at the bottom. Okay, on top of that, once I am done identifying trend, I will then use horizontal levels. So when I say horizontal levels, I mean pullbacks, overlaps, significant swing highs and swing lows, and Fibonacci levels. Okay, to identify where I am going to enter the trade, where I'm going to put my stop loss, and where I'm going to put my take profit. Okay, this is very important. This is the main gist of my entire analysis style. Okay, so once I've done with this 3, 1, 2, 3, I then have a rough idea of what I'm going to do with my trade. It's either I'm going to buy here, I'm going to sell here, I'm going to put my stop loss here, I'm going to put my take profit here. Okay, that's the main idea. So then I'm going to use all the other stuff only as confirmation. The pure job or the pure aim of the other items is just purely as confirmation. So the first one will be any chart patterns. Okay, so wedges, triangles, double top, double bottom, any death or golden crosses, 200 or 50, any moving average, 200 or 50 moving average, by the way. Okay, any natural moving average, and then I'm going to use stochastics and RSI to look for divergence and any support and resistance that I check. Okay, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to look for correlations. So when I say correlations, this is an example. Any strongly correlated currency pairs that are supporting your bias. So the first one that are supporting your bias. So I'll give an example. So let's say you are trading EUR/USD, right? And you want EUR/USD to go up. So you want to buy the EUR/USD. That means you want the US dollar to go down in price. How do you track the US dollar? You go on DXY, which is another index. DXY is the US dollar index where you can do your analysis here. Okay, so you basically do your analysis here, and you also want the analysis to be going down, because if you need EUR/USD to be going up, you need the analysis to be going down. Okay, the other example is any strongly correlated asset class supporting or against your bias, which is USD, CAD, and oil. Okay, this is just an example. So why USD, CAD, and oil? Because Canadian dollars is very correlated to oil. Why? Because Canada is a very, very big producer of oil. Therefore, if the prices of oil goes up, usually the prices of the Canadian dollar will go up as well. If the prices of oil will go down, usually the prices of the Canadian dollars will go down as well. Okay, so next will be the correlations. So for correlations in terms of major pairs or currencies, we're going to look at an example, which is AUD USD and NZD USD. So if AUD NZD is going up, usually the price of NZD USD is also going up. Why? Because they are correlated. They usually move in the same direction because they are affected by the same factors usually. Okay, so once I'm done with looking for my supporting factors, okay, I then decide whether I want to go for a reversal or a breakout. Okay, so a reversal or breakout, I'm going to use Fibonacci levels, but that's just a combination of here. Okay, so that's how I do my entire analysis. Now I'm going to show you in real time how to apply what I've just said into the charts. Okay, so give me a moment, let me pull out. Okay, this is my chart from last week. Every week I do my analysis with you guys. I do it here. I'm very transparent. I don't change anything. I show you what I myself personally take. So I personally got into this trade, but obviously you can see that it hit the stop loss. This is my first losing trade in about a month. Okay, so I was on a 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks winning streak before this, and this was my first loss. And that's totally fine because this loss was only a 1% loss for me, whereas the other wins that I had the last few weeks brought me a total about 8 to, I think a total about 12%. So then I had my first loss, so I'm still in about 11% profit in the last 6 weeks. Okay. Okay, so let's review. Every time I do my analysis, I tell you guys if I myself am personally going to take it or not. I personally took this trade. I personally got in here right before it hit the stop loss. Okay, I got in here right before it hit the stop loss, and then it retraced. It was looking good, but then it did a breakout and then it hit the stop loss. Okay, so let me just review this and tell you why I got into this trade. So first things first is because initially price was moving on a downtrend. Yeah, price was moving on a downtrend. So I was just following this trend line, and I was also following other things that was showing that it was a sell, like the moving average, the death cross, and the golden cross that I was talking about earlier on. What else is on my chart? Sorry. Okay, the death cross, the golden cross. On top of that, stochastics was also telling me it was a sell, and there were other correlations that was also showing me it was a sell. So everything was showing me it was a sell. Therefore, I took this sell, but ended up being wrong, and that's totally okay, because if everything is pointing to a sell and you take a sell and you're wrong, that's okay, because you were taking this trade, like I was taking this trade and I was making my decision based on analysis and not based on just feelings or whatever. Okay, so now let's redo the analysis. I don't know why this is in German. How do I change it back to, okay, it's not important. I don't know why it's in German, but yeah. Okay, so let's redo the analysis. Oh my gosh, everything's just not working today. Even my mouse scroller is not working. Okay, so I do acknowledge and I do see that on the weekly, on a very, very big time frame, price is moving on a downtrend. Okay, price is moving on a downtrend. Okay, so we've got one touch here, two touches here, and then the third touch here, and you can see price is moving on a downtrend. It's just that when I was doing my analysis, it did, even on the smaller time frame, it did look like it was going to continue moving down. Okay, so when I was doing my analysis on the bigger time frame, on the weekly, it's looking like it's going down. On the daily, it looks like it's going down. On the 4 hours, it looks like it was going down. So everything looks like it was going down, and that's why the sell that I took last week totally makes sense to me. But it just could be that my entry was not correct, or it just could be that price maybe wants to go back and retest this trend line before going down, right? It could be that price just wants to retest this trend line before going down again. So let's see. Okay, so we just need to remember, keep in mind that price is on a downtrend on the weekly. Yeah, it really could just be a pullback. It just could be that my sell entry wasn't correct because I still see the same thing that I saw last week. So the reason why I got in for a sell last week is the same reason that I'm seeing now. The weekly is showing that it has reached a resistance. The daily is showing that the uptrend is over, right? There's a clear breakout here. What constitutes an uptrend? An uptrend constitutes higher high, which price is clearly making, and higher lows, which price is clearly making. And now it suddenly has stopped making that higher low, or rather the momentum to push higher has stopped. And also because there is this trend line breakout here, that's why I was quite confident with my sell last week, but I mean it didn't work out. So let me see what the 4 hours is saying. Okay, it just could be that it was drawn wrongly or drawn differently. I still think it's a sell. I don't see price just suddenly reversing, like just going up from here. I know it depends on how you draw the trend line. That's why trend lines are so subjective, because it depends on how you draw the trend line. It looks like this is a trend line breakout, right? It looks like price is going down and now it has done a trend line breakout, right? But there are more things showing me that it's a sell, so I'm still a bit more biased that it's a sell, because depending on how I draw it, this could also still be a downtrend, right? If I just take it from a trend lines are not perfect, by the way, so I know that it's not exactly touching, but it's never perfect. Trend lines are never perfect. Okay, so okay, never mind. I still think it's a sell. Let me just pull out horizontal levels. So what am I doing right now? I'm pulling out horizontal levels. So horizontal levels where I showed you guys here. Okay, horizontal level means pullback, overlap, significant swing highs and swing lows, and any kind of flip levels. Okay, so there's a horizontal level there, there's a swing high here, swing low here. I'm just identifying the closest swing high and the closest swing low to where price is. Okay, there's a swing low here, an overlap here. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. I personally still think that it's a sell, but it could just be my own bias, but not really, because again, I went to the weekly, we're seeing that price has reached a resistance. I went to the daily, it's a very clear, this is not even subjective, right? Because this is a very, very clear trendline breakout. Okay, this is a very clear trendline breakout. I mean, depending on how I draw it, I'm trying to see if I can draw it differently. This wouldn't, yeah, there's no way I can draw it for it to not look like a trendline breakout. Okay, so I'm still biased that it's a sell. I'm still biased that it's a sell, but I could be wrong. It just could be that I don't want to drop the idea that it's a sell, but I don't think so because things are still showing me that it's a sell. So what I'm gonna do now is just give an I do this a lot in my webinars where I am unsure. If price does this, then it is a sell. If price does this, then it is a buy. Okay, so it is a if then this action. Okay, so right now I personally think it's a sell, but it's just that I think it was a sell last week, but I was wrong. So I don't want to be wrong again. So my next bet is that if price comes here, okay, and it a reversal pattern candlesticks appears, okay, pattern candlesticks or reversal pattern anything appears here, this is your sign that there is a possible reversal happening here. Then this could be a sell. Okay, but I also need other things to confirm. Okay, so this is just my first idea. The second thing is if price breaks this zone here, if price breaks this zone here, I cannot read German by the way, but I'm just changing things based on memory. Okay, so what if, my if, and then cause and action is that if price breaks this area, then I'm going to enter a sell from here. So it could either be, I could either be playing a reversal, okay, or I could be playing a breakout. But the general direction that I'm going for is a sell. Okay, I am still going for a sell because things are pointing to sell for me. Like I just don't see the buy. Do you guys see the buy? If you guys see the buy, let me know in the chat box and give me a reasoning. Hi Lily, give me a reasoning and let me know in the chat box. Okay, for those who are usually here at my 5:30 webinar, I started at 2:30 because I think we were scheduled wrongly today, and I already saw people waiting. I saw attendees waiting to join, so that's why I started at 2:30. But those that usually join at 5:30, just rewatch the webinar, and don't worry about um, me starting a bit earlier because the price doesn't usually move that much in that 3 hours, especially because I'm looking at the 4 hours time frame. For those who managed to join my webinar at 2:30 today, usually we start at 5:30 Singapore time. It's just that today I think we were scheduled wrongly and I saw that it was 2:30, so I just started at 2:30. Okay, I still think it's a sell. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is call for a reversal either here or wait for a breakout here. Okay, so I've got two possible sell entries now. Take note, I could be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. My last trade was my first losing trade in weeks and I was wrong. I called for a sell and it didn't work. Okay, my take profit is going to be here. Stop loss is going to be slightly above these levels, obviously. If I'm entering here for the reversal, then my stop loss will be above this zone. If I'm entering here for the breakout, then my stop loss will be above here. So if it's the breakout, I cannot really give you the exact, I cannot really put a stop loss now. I would need to come back to the charts and look at how it's going. But if it's a reversal, I could probably come up with a fixed level. Okay, so now that, again, I'm done with this three, I've got an idea of what I'm going to do. I know where I'm going to sell. I know where I'm going to put my stop loss. And I know where I'm going to put my take profit, right? I know exactly where I'm going to put all three of this. Now I need the confirmation, okay? So I'm going to see if I have any chart patterns I don't see any sharp patterns, no head and shoulder, no double top, no double bottom, nothing, no wedges, nothing. Okay, I don't see any chart patterns that is suggesting that it's a sudden uptrend or trend reversal. Okay, so then I'm gonna pull out other things to do my confirmation. Take note to everything is in German. Okay, I don't know why everything is in German. Where is it? Indicator. Sorry guys, give me a minute. Give me a minute to pull out some things. Moving average. There you go. It's usually in English. I don't know how to change this back to English. Everything is just not working great today. Okay, so I'm gonna put red as 200 and blue as 50. We are still on a downtrend. Okay, based on the 200 and the 50 moving average, we are still on downtrend. Okay, guys, I'm still biased that we are on a downtrend. It could just be that my entry was wrong last week. Okay, I'm gonna give this downtrend one more chance. If I get it wrong again, then I'm gonna stay away from EUR/USD and come back and reanalyze it after a week or 2 weeks. So when I say stay away from EUR/USD, it means that it doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop trading completely. It means that instead of trading EUR/USD, I'm going to trade XAU/USD instead. Okay, or I'm going to trade AUD/USD instead. So if I get it wrong one more time, it means that I need to see the charts in a new perspective or a new lens, and that's going to take time. And therefore, I'm going to stay out for the market for a little while until things make sense. Okay, until things make sense. Yeah, this one I remember played out. This one I remember played out perfectly. Okay, so okay, I still think it's a sell. Nothing is showing me that it's not a sell other than Ichimoku, but Ichimoku you should take with a pinch of salt. Stochastics, RSI. I usually don't think buy or sell purely rely on the market charts. If price breaks above the third candle with the long wick, it means I will take a buy. Yeah, so there are different ways to trade. Again, today's webinar, I'm just showing you guys my style of trading, my style of how I would usually do it. But again, there are different traders would trade differently. This is what I've been using for a while, and it has been working for me for quite a while now, for many years actually. So yeah, so far so good for me. It's just that last week was not a good week, but other than that, other than last week, I was on a winning streak using this exact same technique. But that being said, if I continue to use this technique and I stop making money from the markets, I keep encountering losses, that is when I will tell myself, okay, it's time to stop using this technique and it's time to use a different strategy. Okay, so far this strategy is still working for me at this current point of time. Okay, I'm still happy with the sell. So I'm still gonna go ahead and call for this. I'm gonna go ahead and do my analysis for a sell on the H4H time frame. Yeah, you can. That's also another good technique actually. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with this analysis and still call for a sell. Basically, it's either going to be a reversal here or a breakout here, but the direction for me is going to be a sell. If it's a reversal, obviously the entry will be better because then you're looking at something like Like, it's going to be a really long trade, 1 to 8. So your risk to reward will be 1 to 8.5. Whereas if you're taking it here where it is the breakout, it's going to be 1 to 3. So it depends where the reversal happens or where the breakout happens. This could be a really, really good risk to reward trade. Okay, this could be a really, really good risk to reward trade. Okay, cool. That's it for EUR/USD. I'm gonna move on to my next chart. Do you guys have any charts you guys want me to analyze, or any particular pair you guys want me to analyze? If like, just put it in the chat box and I will analyze it. If not, I'm just gonna randomly choose another pair, maybe XAUUSD or USD AUD/USD. Let me know in the chat box what you guys want. Other than EUR/USD, which I personally trade, I don't really trade other things at this current point of time other than EUR/USD. So if you guys have a particular chart you want me to look at, just let me know in the chat box. Okay, let's do EUR/JPY. Where's IC markets? Here. Whenever you guys are looking for a chart, please choose IC markets so that the spreads are the same as your account. Again, going to start with the weekly. Oh, yikes. Sorry, I'm just trying to have a general consensus of where DXY is moving. So DXY is the US dollar currency index. Just want to have it looks like it's going up, which will support EUR/USD. Because I'm hoping EUR/USD drops, right? So for EUR/USD to drop, then DXY needs to go the opposite direction. And it looks like it is going the opposite direction, which is up. Okay, hoping that it just goes up from here. Okay, so let's do EUR/JPY. Since we know that DXY is going, EUR should be going down, DXY, let's see, JPY. Let me see. Don't see any trend. Okay, don't really see any trend. I mean, it is moving on an uptrend, obviously. Price is moving on an uptrend. Daily, daily, I would say it's moving on an uptrend. Obviously, the trend isn't beautiful, right? Like, it's not very clear. Yeah, I guess it's still moving on an uptrend. Okay, so as for now, I think price is moving on an uptrend. Okay, so I know price is moving on an uptrend. That means I want to enter for a buy. The next question is, where do I enter for the buy? Okay, so again, I'm gonna pull this out. Uptrend, uptrend, showing uptrend. Where do I enter for the buy? I now pull out the horizontal levels. Okay, so by the way, you guys have to take note. Please do not, let me repeat myself, please do not copy my trades. Okay, please do not copy my analysis. This is purely for educational purposes. Why do I remind you this, especially on EUR-JPY? I would say for EUR-USD, this style of analysis works very, very well for EUR-USD. I have used this for EUR-USD many, many times, and I have won my trade. My analysis has been correct many, many times. That being said, I don't really use it on EUR-JPY, so I don't know how well it will work on EUR-JPY. Why is this important? Because there is no one strategy that you can use for all charts. Every charts have their own characteristics. You have to use different styles of trading for every single chart. So I'm going to try this style. I'm going to try this style for EUR-JPY, but there is a chance that it may not work very well. Okay, there is a chance it may not work very well. That's why I tell you guys, do not copy my analysis. Please take this as educational, and please take this as just seeing the markets from a different perspective. Okay, because some charts just don't respect levels like other charts. Like this particular analysis, wait, where is it? There you go. This particular analysis works very well on EUR-USD, but it does not work on XAU-USD at all. Okay, it does not work on XAU-USD at all. For XAU-USD, which I also trade, I use a totally completely different strategy and a different technique of doing analysis. It is not this. I usually use Elliott wave. For those who don't know what Elliott wave is, this is Elliott wave, where price is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by ABC. Okay, Elliott wave works very, very well on gold, XAU-USD, but it doesn't work on EUR-USD. So different charts have different styles of trading. Okay, so I'm going to try doing my analysis on EUR-JPY, but take note, there is a chance that it may not be correct. Okay, I think it is a buy. Let me just pull out horizontal levels of Elliott wave, because I don't see anything else that I can use. Let me change this to white. Okay, there you go. Okay, give me a moment, guys. I'm just pulling out Fibonacci levels to see if there's a possible entry that I can use. So this will be 78.6, 100, 127.2, 161. Whoops, cannot see the color. Changing the color so that I know where. Okay, based on Fibonacci, give me a moment, guys. I will explain what I'm doing in a bit. What I'm doing is basically identifying levels where there are a lot of Fibonacci levels lining up. So the green and the white are two different levels of Fibonacci levels. The more Fibonacci levels I have lining up in the same place, the more likely that price might pull back and reverse from that area. Yeah, I think price is going to pull back. Price, okay, this part here, I think is definitely a perfect swing high. Okay, I think price is going to pull back now, but pull back to where? I'm going to wait for price to pull back, and then once the pullback is done, I'm going to enter somewhere. Okay, I'm going to enter somewhere after the pullback is done. There is one right here, honestly. Very far from where price is. Let me get rid of all the other levels that are not that relevant to us. Okay. I think price is going to pull back before going back up. Okay. Yeah, I think price is going to pull back before going back up. This was such a good entry for a sell, honestly. This area was such a good entry for a sell. But I don't recommend you selling right now because there could be a chance of a breakout. I'm gonna come up with what I think is gonna happen. So I think I do believe in the buy. I think price is either going to break out right now or it's going to pull back. If it pulls back, this is the next buy entry. If not, I think it could break out and go higher. The problem with this chart is that I don't see the next swing high. So I need to find the next take profit. I really don't see the next horizontal level that makes Hey guys, I think it's a buy. I just wouldn't be able to give you a very good exit. Because my style of trading is going from zone to zone to zone. So that means swing highs to swing lows to the next swing highs. For EURJPY, there is not really a clear next swing high except for the one right here, which is very, very far away from where price is right now. Okay, it's very far away from where price is right now. Will it go there? It might eventually, but will it go there right now? I don't know. I'm trying to find a closer take profit. I'm trying to find a closer take profit that would make sense, that it's visible. That's visible for. Okay, let's aim for here. I need to retry this one again. I mean, yeah, this was such a good sell, man. It's too late now. It's over already. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. What are my options? What are my options? Okay, for those who've been following me for a while, you know that whenever I take a trade, the risk to reward needs to make sense to me. Okay, I see a possible take profit, which is here. Okay, I see the possible take profit, but let's say price does a breakout, right? Let's imagine price does a breakout here. Maybe 128010 of Fibonacci expansion. Give me a, I can try. Give me a moment. Okay, let's say price does a breakout here. And my next level for take profit is here. That means the risk to reward wouldn't be great unless you are scalping, right? Unless you are scalping and you put a really, really tight stop loss. Then only this would kind of make sense, but only if you are scalping and your stop loss is super, super tight. Okay? Otherwise, this, if it's a breakout, it doesn't make sense anymore. But if we are waiting for a reversal, which doesn't look like it's gonna happen, look at this candle. This candle looks like it wants to go higher. Obviously, the candle hasn't stopped, so I don't know for sure. But if price pulls back here and this is the entry, rather than here being the entry, this will be a way, way, way better trade. So if I were to get into this EURJPY trade for a buy, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Winning starts at entry. Okay, so the winning starts at the entry. If you don't get in at a good entry, you are not setting yourself up for a good trade. So if I want a good trade, my entry should be here rather than playing the breakout. I'm not saying that the breakout will make you money. I'm just saying that this one will make you more money. Okay, so if I were to consider playing this trade, right, the only thing I will only consider if price pulls back here, rejects this area, and then my entry for the buy will be here. Okay, that way I have more room for price to go up. So my stop loss will just be here, right? And my take profit can now either be here or here, back at the swing high. If it's just at the swing high, it's already a good trade, but if you put it here, it'll be an even better trade, obviously. But to be very conservative, right, just being very conservative, this alone would be a very good risk to reward trade. So let's see how what the risk to reward is like. 3.5, 1 to 3.5, which I think is a good trade. Is it going to break out now? We can only find out after this candle closes. Okay, after this candle closes, if it closes very strong here, I think there's a good chance it will want to try to break this area. Okay, but if this candle suddenly retraces, I think there's a good chance it's going to pull back to here. Okay, obviously I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen with the markets, but this is just what I forecast price is going to do. Yeah, this would be a way, way, way better trade. Thank you, Ingrinaldi. So those are levels that some traders use, but those are not levels that I'm particular familiar with. So I'm not going to use those levels, but you can if you want to. It's just that I try to stick with the levels that I'm used to using so that my analysis stays consistent. Okay, let's do a very quick one on XAU USD. Okay, so for XAU USD, I actually use Ichimoku, sorry, not Ichimoku, Elliott wave to trade. For those who don't know what Elliott wave is basically this style of trading where Mr. I can't remember his name, something Elliott. This guy named Elliott, he noticed that price is constantly moving on a 5 wave pattern. Okay, followed by ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by ABC, and after ABC, then it continues with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is how I usually trade when it comes to gold. I don't really have time anymore. We don't have enough time. How do I know for a fact that Elliott wave works very well? Because here, a while ago, I identified this using Elliott wave. Okay, using Elliott wave, I identified this wave 5. So we should be on a wave 5. This was a 4. It's more, okay, let me show you on the daily. Okay, whatever it is, it should have been 1, 2, sorry. Okay, this should be the end of 3. This is the start of 4. And this should be the end of 5. Okay, so based on this, I think we are currently on an ABC. A, B, followed by a C. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a rough analysis on this because I don't really have time anymore. We've overshot the 1 hour time. Okay, so how does ABC work in Elliott wave? There are many. I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so A, B, C is usually, A is usually the same length as C. Okay, wave C is a 5-wave impulse and expected to extend beyond wave A. So it's usually the same length of C. It's typically 100% or 161.9% of wave A. Okay, so based on the guidelines, it's typically 100% or 161.8. Okay, so C is expected to land here or here. Okay, based on the guidelines. Okay, based on the guidelines, if this is a ABC, then C is expected to end here. Okay, and then that is where I will get ready to get in for my buy entry. So there's 2 ways to play gold at this current point of time. Hi Jamilu, hi. Hi Hi, Jamilu. So there's two ways to play gold at this current point of time. The first one, if this analysis is correct, is that price is going to retrace back to C, which is here, right? So that means you can consider getting in for a sell. I mean, I can consider, I don't want to say you because I don't want you guys to think that this is a signal for you to get in for a buy or sell. But the first consideration is to play it back to C. Sorry, how do I get rid of this? Okay, to play it back to C. And the second consideration is to wait for price to get to C and only get in for a buy here at C. Okay, those are the two considerations that I have for gold. That's the only thing that I can give you guys for gold, because Elliott wave would require a lot more time. I would need 1 hour is not even enough for me to do the analysis for Elliott wave for gold. Okay, so this is just a rough analysis that I can give you guys for gold, that I think it's going to pull back to C, which is here. And from C, then we will start with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will start with price going up again for a little while. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys this week. I'll see you guys next week. Sorry I started earlier. It was scheduled earlier. I was just following the scheduled time. Yeah, I'll let IC Markets know. Thanks guys for joining. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.